Casanegas, who shares a studio with Pablo. Now, Casanegas commits suicide after several attempts. Casanegas is in despair because he's impotent. He's unable to achieve erection or climax, and he cannot satisfy the woman he loves, who is Germaine Pichot. Now, Germaine is in love with Picasso, so this love triangle, suicide and burial, gives birth to Picasso's blue period. We have the burial of Casanegas, which is 1901, which essentially inaugurates the blue period. It's a very, very large canvas. Picasso uses blue to initiate emotion rather than to give pleasure. The blue dominates all his paintings during this period. There's a few accents of ochre, white, red, green, and purple, but in this painting, blue dominates. The painting is, in fact, in the tradition of Spanish death allegories. The swirling composition, the grace of limbs from El Greco, the burial of Count Orgal. Now, this swirling composition of El Greco is honored, but Picasso is also mocking the tradition because he's not painting royalty. During Picasso's blue period, you have a series of pictures of beggars and derelicts, essentially outcasts or victims of society, that reflect Pablo's own sense of isolation and convey a type of poetic melancholy. During the blue period, the subjects, these beggars, these derelicts, accept their fate with saintly resignation. Picasso, he also generates the mannerism of Gauguin and Toulouse-Lautrec. He amalgamates it and falls under the spell of the same atmosphere or artistic spell that generated the style of Edward Munch, The Scream. Now, the burial of Casanegas, well, the bottom half of the canvas, in the bottom half of the canvas reclines a white body and figures in postures of grief, just like El Greco's painting. There's a swirl of clouds in the upper half that features a group of prostitutes in a combination of stockings and nudity. A mother carries a baby. In the far right, there's two naked women. Above them, there's a white horse, symbolic of the departing soul of his dead friend, Casanegas. His arms are outstretched in a crucifix-like posture. There's a third naked woman who clings to him, who clings to Casanegas, because according to Picasso, Casanegas has been crucified by sex. Now, this is the color and form here are symbolist and allegorical. Picasso evokes rather than describes. He rejects the pictorial sense of realism. Picasso uses Christian iconography and echoes back to the days of 16th century Spain. Sexuality as a theme, however, contradicts Christianity. The painting is dominated by blasphemous subject matter, an indulgent act of grief during using a sacrilegious description. Love and sex are the cause of his friend's death, and Picasso, in this painting, contrasts between two types of love, the sacred and the profane. There's prostitutes in the painting, but there's also a mother and child. Now, works of the blue period are generally smaller canvases. This is a very, very large canvas, and most of his other paintings during this period are of a smaller nature. The color in these paintings remains insubstantial, ethereal, and, well, pessimistic. Self-absorbed figures suffering from the brutality of urban life. The blue period is a mix of social criticism and spiritual pessimism. It's sentimental in nature, with touches of underlying eroticism. The flowers of evil in art. All right, spring 1904. Picasso is 23 years